joy and life to you from God, who is good, who turns everything toward good, and whose desire it is that your life be good in every way, in what you do, what you experience, the way you live your life, and in recognizing and realizing and receiving all the good blessings given you by your Creator, Redeemer, and Sustainer. Perhaps it shouldn't be surprising to us that when the turn toward good takes place on a very large scale, the turn can be painfully slow over the course of years or decades, even centuries. That's the kind of turn we hear about in chapter 51, verses 4 through 5, when Isaiah is giving the people this word from the Lord. Listen to me, my people, and give heed to me, my nation, for a teaching will go out from me, and my justice for a light to the peoples. I will bring my deliverance swiftly. My salvation has gone out, and my arms will rule the peoples. The coastlands wait for me, and for my arm they hope. They didn't come right away, those promises. They didn't get fulfilled. But the prophet Amos also envisioned that brighter future, writing in chapter 5, verse 24, "But let justice roll down like waters, and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream." This is the word of the Lord. And here are my thoughts on it. The people of Israel have gone through prolonged periods of desperate struggles repeatedly throughout their history, from its earliest recorded years through to the present day. In biblical times alone, they were crushed in battle, forced to give up territory, divided by civil war, exiled to foreign lands, occupied by ruthless foreigners. They didn't always treat each other well either. The rich took from the poor. The powerful at times oppressed the powerless. The prophets usually spoke when things were at their worst, sometimes in judgment on the people and the nation when they weren't living well, often to offer hope. They gave assurance that sooner or later another, better day would come, a time when justice would triumph, the people return, the nation reform both politically and spiritually. The Lord would be victorious. God's righteousness would prevail. If not today, on some future tomorrow, God would bring good out of chaos, injustice, and destruction. Martin Luther King, Jr. had a similar trust, and he could be as poetic as any Old Testament prophet. He showed equal confidence in the future in his oft-quoted statement that the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. That's part of his "where do we go from here" speech. I want to read a little more of it for you, to see how it fits in. He said, "When our days become dreary with low-hovering clouds of despair, and when our nights become darker than 1,000 midnights, let us remember that there is a creative force in this universe working to pull down the gigantic mountains of evil, a power that is able to make a way out of no way, and transform dark yesterdays into bright tomorrows. Let us realize that the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. Let us realize that William Cullen Bryant is right. Truth, crushed to earth, will rise again. Let us go out realizing that the Bible is right. Do not be deceived. God is not mocked. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. This is our hope for the future. And with this faith, we will be able to sing in some not too distant tomorrow with a cosmic past tense. We have overcome. We have overcome. Deep in my heart, I did believe we would overcome. Amen. We're still hoping, and we'll have to wait to see how God turns things around and how God turns around the chaos of our days. But rest assured, that day will come. I have to give you, as the quote for today, the inspiration for that oft-quoted phrase of Martin Luther King. It is found in an 1850 sermon by American theologian Theodore Parker, who put it this way: look at the facts of the world. You see a continual and progressive triumph of the right. I do not pretend to understand the moral universe. The arc is a long one. My eye reaches but a little ways. I cannot calculate the curve and complete the figure by the experience of sight. I can divine it by conscience. But from what I see, I am sure it bends toward justice. So let me leave you with this blessing. May you always have hope in the bright future of God's design, and be granted the strength and the will to keep working toward it. May God be both the light at the end of your tunnel and the lamp that guides your every step. God bless you and keep you all along the way. Amen.